Okay, we're going to look at this long-term project that we're going to be working on. When we bought the house, when we looked at the house, one big negative was that the house had not been updated since it was built. Now, the people that lived here, it was twin women and sisters, and they, of course, but they didn't do a lot of living here. I think they kind of just slept here and went to work, and there was not a lot of cooking, not a lot of use in the house. For 30 years that the house was sitting, it was here. And when the house was built, this was very nice colors and very nice accessories and things like that. But when we saw the house, one big negative was the fact that it hadn't been updated. I'm going to show you the project that I'm working on. Now, looking at the countertops and the cabinets, this hasn't been updated, and it's very much a late 90s style. I did change the pulls on the doors and the drawers. They were gold. They were really bad. We changed the dishwasher and the sink, so it was even worse than this when we saw the house. We've already made a lot of improvements. We changed the stove. We put in a gas range. We left the refrigerator just because it's such a nice refrigerator, but we just hate the color. It makes this area so dark. And of course, this dark hunter green countertop, the color is just hideous. It was nice in 1999 when the house was built, and it has these weird corners and things. It is just really ugly and almost prevented us from buying the house. But the idea was we would move in, gut this kitchen, put all new cabinets, countertops, and appliances in, and we weren't going to buy the house unless that was possible. Well, some issues happened at closing, and the budget that was allocated for doing this kitchen was removed. So now we are trying to kind of piece together things to make this kitchen the way we like it. Because there's nothing worse than living in a house that's not what you want or like. Now, the flooring was supposed to come up also. That was going to be done. We wanted that done before we moved in the house. But we've learned that even though the flooring is outdated, it really holds up well for the traffic of the girls on it right now. At their age, this is a really good option for a floor, and I don't think we're going to change it yet. We're going to let them get a little bit of their ripping and roaring out before we do that. But the countertops have already started showing wear. They weren't used. In the whole time that they were in, they weren't used. Since we've been here, we have about 7 months of usage on it. You can already see a wear pattern here at an angle where we use it the most. It's already wearing, and it's just a hideous color. So the project is to remove this and replace it. Now, you can do this yourself. You can have it cut. Places will cut this for you, and you can do it all yourself. It's not really that big of a job as long as somebody else cuts it. We are going with quartz, and I have a company that will cut it, and I can put it all in myself. I don't want to do that because I don't want to be responsible for this section here. This section is going to be a problem because when you load that on a truck or something, there's a possibility that that section there could break. And there's a little bar area here. That's going to be a weak point. So I don't want to do it myself. We are hiring a company to do it. We've already picked out the quartz that we're going to have here, the color that will complement these cabinets. We don't like the cabinets neither, but we've gotten used to them, and they are really good quality, high quality cabinets, and they are beautiful wood. It's just not in style right now. But they're such high quality. We're not going to take them out. We're going to live with them. We're going to work with them. We're going to try to put in a countertop that complements these cabinets, and we're going to try, and we think that will brighten this room up. The reflection off of the light surface that we pick, we think will really make a big difference in this area. So I'm going to be documenting this process. Now, the process is you get a rough measurement, you go to your dealer, supplier, contractor. They sit down with you and get all your options, your corners, how you want the corners to be, the rounded edges or the square corners. There's several different types. There's options on sink cutouts, backsplash, whether or not you want a backsplash. We do want a backsplash. So there's all these options, and you give them a rough estimate. They go through the options. They give you what they think it will cost to cut the piece and put it in. Same way if you're going with a laminate. We could just cover this stuff. We could just put a laminate right over it. Problem is, we're not 100% sure that we are staying in the house. We're looking at maybe, we just might be able to do something else that would fit us better. So we're looking at, what is our best option for getting the highest resale with, the lowest investment. So if we put laminate in, that would be really an economical option. But it would really hurt the resale. It would really hurt when we go to sell the house, because this was almost a deal breaker for us. You just don't see this in houses like this anymore. You don't see this laminate. Nothing wrong with it. It doesn't fit the house. And then like I say, when we go to resale, this could really be a deal breaker if you have this laminate in a house, and it's in an area where this is a nice house. It's a nice area with pretty good house prices, and it will hurt, could possibly kill a deal having this type of countertop. So we're going to go with the quartz. That will offer us the best ability to sell in the future. We're not going with the high-end quartz. We're going with the lowest and most economical quartz, something that is durable, doesn't have to be maintained, but will give us a nice look and best resale. So I'm going to show you how this process goes. So the next step is, I got my measurements. I went sit down with somebody. They gave me a rough estimate, and now they will come out with a laser and an actual contractor will come out and do an actual measurement for the cutting. Then they will do the cutting. They will come out, remove this old stuff, and put the new stuff in place. And we decide if that's what we want and what we want to live with. So that's how it goes. I'm going to document it as we go, and here we go. Okay, so here's an example. It's raining outside. It's really loud in here, so I don't know if it's going to come. It might be loud on here, but here we go. So this is the actual piece. This is the color and style that we're going to use, and I think we might go with this kind of squared off edge also, but this is what we're going for. And I even like this gold finish on that. I'm seeing a lot more of that, and it goes really good with this wood. And we have that wood that we're going to be using. I think this is our best choice for the wood that we have. So this is basically the color that we're going to use. Here's another look at it over here. I don't know how good it's going to come out on the video, but there's the color we're going to use, and we're going to need the light, put some real good light on it, and we will. But there it is, and I'm going to get a look at the actual, it's called, so that I know when I order it. And there it is. Okay, here's the next project. I wish I would have gotten a better shot before I took out the sink. I've already started on this project, but getting the countertops redone. Let me let you get a look at it here. And here's what they look like now. I've already taken the sink out. There's the overall view. We finally found a group that we want to work with, and we went and looked at the available stone that they have, granite, quartz, marble, all the different products that they have, and we picked one out. And I took the sink this morning, had to take the sink out. Took the sink there this morning. They're actually cutting the stone to fit the sink. So it's going to be an undermount sink now. It was a drop-in. It's going to be an undermount now, and it's just going to have one cutout for the faucet, and it'll be an undermount. What you doing? Okay, so I didn't record it while I was taking it apart, but here's the next step. This was the next step. I had to disconnect this countertop, and I used a chainsaw and a skill saw to cut it up myself, which I didn't really think about it being such a hard job, but it was a very hard job to hold the countertop while I cut it with a chainsaw and a skill saw. So I don't recommend you do that by yourself. I recommend you have somebody help you, because it's very hard to do. But this is the second step. There's what it looks like now, and tomorrow we will get some footage of it. Okay, so everything I just told you has changed. But that's the reason for this channel. That's the whole purpose of this channel, is to show you how to do these types of jobs, and let me make the mistakes, and I'll show you the mistakes that I made, and it'll help you with your project. That's the whole idea. So the price that was quoted on the countertop that I just showed you was about $2,100 more. She quoted it wrong, so it added a lot of cost, expense to the job. Also, I went ahead and took out my own countertop. I saved $800 by doing this myself, and I saved about $300 on the removal of the plumbing, and about $300 on the installation of the plumbing. And I'm telling you, anybody can remove a sink. Anybody can remove the faucet from a kitchen sink. Watch a video, watch a YouTube video. I have several. Look in the description of the video. You'll see some of my previous videos. I show you how to put one of these sinks in. I show you how to put a faucet in. So save yourself the $300 to $600 expense of a plumber to do this, when you can do this yourself. You can do the removal of the countertop. That's $800. The disposal is usually around $200 to $300. Now this is a 41 square foot job. The disposal on that is about $300. You can, most of the time, you can call your garbage company, and they will have a special pickup. It's much cheaper. For me, it was free. I get a large pickup once a month. I just call the garbage the garbage company, and they tell me when to put it out, and they pick it up. It was totally free to me. So I saved the $600 on the plumbing. I saved the $800 on the removal, and I saved the $300 on the disposal. That's a lot of money, and the prices were much cheaper. I found a stone company that you go out, you pick the stone, the type of countertop you want. They cut it to fit, they bring it out, they install it. Now the countertop that I chose that you're getting ready to see, I paid $35 a square foot for this countertop. This type of countertop at Lowe's or Home Depot was over $100 a square foot. So, complete job, complete in what I paid to do this was $2,000 even. The quotes that I got ran anywhere from $3,900 to $5,800 to do this job. So you can save yourself a lot of money by doing a few of these small things. You can say, and you need to determine what kind of sink you want, because if you get a stone cutter that does this, you take the sink to them, they cut the stone, they cut the countertop to fit your sink, and then when they come out, they install the sink into the countertop. Whether it's an undermount or a drop-in, they install that. You have to hook the plumbing up, but they do install the sink. So those are some things to keep in mind. Those are some things to figure out. And that's some ways you can save money just by educating yourself a little bit. Watch some of my videos. Save yourself a lot of money on some of these jobs. So here we go. You're going to see the countertop that we went with and some of the options and how we saved the money that we saved. Here we go. Okay, so this is the finished job. You see how much brighter it is in here? It's so much brighter in here, and I've already started cluttering up the cabinets. Not a lot, but I've already started putting things on here, and you can see just how much bigger it looks. It looks so much bigger, so much more up to date. Should have been this way many years ago. Can't believe somebody let this go the way they did. But there it is, and you see it made a massive difference in the overall appearance, the complete appearance of the house. And also in the feel of the house, it just feels better. So there it is, finished.
Okay, so wrapping this video up, there's some things we need to think about. You need to think about the size, material, whether or not you have overhangs or bars, the edge style, inside and outside radius, your plumbing, and your removal and disposal of your existing countertops. Now, the size is how big of area you want to do, what the thickness is on your material, how big your sink is, and where your sink is going to be. Then you want to think about your material. You want to go with another laminate. Is this a rental house? Is this a house you're going to be selling? Are you worried about increasing the value of the home, or you just wanting to fix a bad material that you have now? All the materials have pluses and negatives. You're going to have to do your research on all those materials to determine which one fits you best. Remember about overhangs and bars. Overhangs, bars, little areas where you may have stools. Those, if they're, depending on the material, most of them, if they're over 10 inches of an overhang, they require special bracing, and that's going to have additional costs. The edge style, that's going to be how you want to cut the edge of your material, and there's a cost associated with the different edges, and it just whatever type of style you want. Inside and outside radius, that's the corners and the inside corners of your material, your countertop. There's a cost associated with the different radiuses. I think it's the larger radius. You have to pay more for those. Keep in mind your plumbing, how complicated your plumbing is. Normally you can do it yourself. Watch some videos. You can save a lot of money just by doing this, taking the sink out yourself, disconnecting the P-trap, disconnecting your faucet. You can watch videos. Remember, I have videos on this very issue. You can watch my videos and learn how to do this yourself. I saved $600 by doing minor plumbing myself. Removal and disposal. Remember, if you're going to pay the company to take out the existing countertop and dispose of it, you're going to pay a pretty large fee. It was $800 for the removal was what I would have had to pay. I saved that by doing it myself. You will also be charged for the disposal. I saved $300 by getting rid of it myself. And most of the time, if you have independent garbage pickup, most of them offer some type of removal for big items. Mine was free, so I saved $300 on that. So look into those issues. Maybe you can save a lot doing that. So those are some things to think about before you get into this project. Those are some ways you can save a lot of money and make this a project that's very doable. So that's going to finish this episode up. That's going to do it. Remember, they may do it another way, but that's the way I do it. We'll see you next time. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, think about subscribing. There's a lot of videos on here to show you how to do some of these types of projects. Check them out. If you like what I'm doing, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and if you want to really help me out, subscribe to the channel. And that'll do it. Thanks.